See, this is the first lecture for, we are starting basically the common course for the economics optional part for Indian Economic Service as well as for the RBI DPR, and those who are appearing either this year 2025 DPR or for the next year as well. So in the initial half an hour I will be basically explaining the overall approach. That means what will be the overall approach of the lecture in terms of the syllabus, course content, how to incorporate the test series, what will be the component of those test series, how to incorporate your daily answer writing practice, because daily answer writing practice is now an integral part of the course also. So incorporating the daily answer writing along with your formal test, what will be the sources, that is for different books, from which book you have to refer which topic. So all detail I will be giving, first starting with the optional, then I will move to the economic service, and then briefly about the RBI, because the content for RBI and the economic service is same. So I will just explain basically the overall content. So as you know, economics optional, there will be two paper 1 and paper 2. First paper is will be having 5 subtopic: advanced micro, advanced macro, then money, banking and finance, international economics, and growth and development. So first paper itself, so basically I will be explaining these parts: the syllabus content, test writing approach and so on. You can write down the first part here in terms of the syllabus. So if you want to write the broader heads, you can write it. The first part is basically for advanced micro. Now in syllabus what is written, that there are 4 subpart for micro: Marshallian and valuation approach, then distribution theory, market structure it is, and welfare. So welfare, distribution, market structure, and Marshallian and valuation approach. So what do you find missing in this syllabus, which is part of the micro but not mentioned here? You can say consumer theory, production, cost. These topics are obviously the part of the microeconomics but not mentioned in the syllabus of the economics optional. That means they will be de-emphasizing these areas. It does not mean that they will not ask any question. There will be question from consumer theory, there may be a question from production, cost, but not prominently. The prominent question will be coming from, more question will be coming from the market structure. But see, the problem with the syllabus is that it is only written 3 words: monopolistic, duopoly, oligopoly. Now what you have to cover within oligopoly? So you have to interpret the syllabus according to the past year question. So first objective will be to go to the question. Once you go to or refer to the question, from that question we have to interpret the syllabus. Okay, it is part of the syllabus, although not written here. It may be not written in the syllabus part here, but it will be a part of the syllabus. So first of all, for each and every question we have to go to the topic wise question. Like for example, the market structure topic, all question asked so far from that market structure topic has been segregated. So once you see the topic wise question, then from that topic wise question you can evaluate that what is the weightage of this question, how many question will be coming from the market structure usually. So in 2024 you find 1 question, 2 question and 3 question. 3 question means some question could be of 15 mark, some could be of 20, some may be of 10. So about we can say 40-50 marks ka question market structure topic hai. In 2023 again you see 1 question, 2 question, 3, 4. In 22 itself 1 question, 2 question, 3 question. That means on an average there will be 3 to 4 parts from market structure part. 3 to 4 parts means on an average we can say a weightage of 40 to 45 marks will be from the market structure section. Question को देखने से you will get an idea कि okay, how many questions are repeated, what is the nature of question, whether the question are direct or applied, or whether it will be having some numerical orientation also. So you can see that in the initial first page there is no calculation based question, numerical question, but you find that question in 2022, 1 numerical question, but it is very easy question, and they are asking numerical question only from coordinate model, Burton model, Stekelberg model, not from any other topic. Area is fixed. The question will be coming from the Burton model, the coordinate model or the Stekelberg model. So once you go by the question, then only you can evaluate okay, what will be the nature of the paper, and from there we have to interpret the syllabus part of it. So for every topic this type of segregation is there. Clear? Like this numerical one 2022, same question was asked in 2009, it was asked in 2013, asked in 2019 and in 2022. That means last 20-25 year mein you get 4 times numerical from the market structure, and always the question is on the same topic. That means to some extent you can predict the question as well. So the first part is basically this. Now, so for every topic you have to determine it. So one part is what you can see in the syllabus. There is one written part that you can see in the syllabus, and the other part which is not written, which is consumer theory, production cost. So we will cover it, although not mentioned in the syllabus part. Same thing with second. It is written classical, Keynesian, that is ISLM topic. Then new classical, new Keynesian. So what is missing in the advanced macro topic, which is major part of the macro but not written here? Inflation, unemployment, questions on Phillips curve, Okun's law, inflation targeting, interest rate targeting, design of monetary policy, those are very much part of the macro, and there will be question from that section but not exactly written in the syllabus part. So second part will be again, so for macro again you have to go by the question and then you have to interpret or the syllabus. Third part is money, banking and finance. So major topic you have to only write, you have written micro, macro. Third is money, banking and finance, divided into 2 parts. One will be the money, that is supply and demand for money, and second part will be the public finance, that is government finance. Usually micro, macro and money finance constitute section A of paper 1, although not written anywhere. Paper will have 2 sections, section A and section B. So section A is usually micro, macro and money, banking and finance, and second section is dominated by international and growth and development. International, we can divide this international into 2 parts. ये 2 अलग-अलग सेक्शन में डिवाइड हो जाएंगे. International into 2 different parts. So when we explain the international into 2 different parts, one part is all theories of international trade, starting from the absolute cost advantage given by Adam Smith, Ricardian model, HO model, specific factor model, standard trade model, new trade theories. So all theories of international trade, here it is written only old and new. Old include in fact all. Ricardian, HO model, specific factor, standard, all are old. What is the difference between old theories and the new theories? Then the second part is this balance of payment and foreign exchange. So BOP adjustment is written. The nature of this second part will be basically macro. Nature of first part is micro, that is theories of trade is micro in nature, and balance of payment, the approach will be macroeconomics. So international is basically having 2 orientation, micro as well as macro. That means you cannot directly start with the international. If you have some fundamental of micro, you can understand theories better. If you have some understanding of the macroeconomics, then you can understand this section of international economics better. And fifth topic is growth and development. So growth and development, again some models are written here, but in fact there are 15 to 16 different growth models, starting from the Harrod model which is written here, Lewis model written here, Harris-Todaro not written, balance unbalanced is written here. It simply says human capital and economic growth, research and development, which will include in fact AK model, Romer model, Livingston critical minimum hypothesis, dependency theory, Solow model. So there are 15 to 16 different growth model which will explain what determine the economic growth. So the nature of this section is again very similar to the macroeconomics. So 5 subtopic for paper 1, and before coming to paper 2, just see the sources. Now majorly it will be Kotsianis and H.L. Ahuja for micro part. For macro section it is Froyen, Dornbus and Fisher and Blanchard. For international economics, Salvatore and Krugman. For public finance, this area, H.L. Bhatia, Branson and S.B. Gupta. But you don't need to buy any book. ये book में mention कर रहा, but you don't need to buy it because you are not supposed to read the complete book. We have to refer certain selected chapter of those books. Compilation of that you will be getting in the study material. So your study material will basically contain these books. So one part of the material will be that printed, which will be compilation of this. Second and more important part will be the class notes, which will be dictated in the class. So by referring to those books, class will be conducted. So that means every content in the book, the major one, will be coming to your note. Just learn those notebook by writing it multiple times. So content will be in your notebook. You have to practice from the past year question. Past year question has been segregated topic wise. And for every topic it is further detailed. Like for the market structure, which we will be starting with this today. It is written monopolistic, duopoly, oligopoly. Now for this section, chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 13 from Kotsianis. So your micro spiral will include these chapters. Micro spiral will be including these chapters. So we will be referring to market structure topic or reading the market structure topic from this book, and these are the chapters. Similarly for the distribution welfare, H.L. Ahuja, then chapter 23 of Kotsianis, then some content you will be getting on mail, and for arrows and AKs in welfare function. For distribution theory we can refer to the M.L. Jhingan, and Marshall and valuation approach again chapter number 22 Kotsianis. So for every topic, कौन से book पढ़ना है, which chapter, everything has been provided in detail, and you have to follow this content for every part. Like classical model, only 2 chapters from Froyen. So xerox of these 2 chapters will be included in the macro spiral. Clear? So this is the detail of basically paper 1. 5 subtopic hai, and from which book and which chapter you have to cover, it is already there. Now when you come to the second paper, that second paper is Indian economy. Now in syllabus, Indian economy has been divided mainly into 2 parts. There will be only 2 parts of this paper 2. One part says Indian economy in the pre-independence period, that is 1950s, 47 and before it, pre-independence era. Last year compulsory question में 4 question was from this topic only. Out of 5 compulsory, 4 question was from the pre-independence era. So one part is basic, but limited number of question है यहाँ पे, remember. Hardly 8 or 9 topic ही है, 8 or 9 question ही बनते हैं. If you have prepared all, like drain theory, commercialization of agriculture, deindustrialization, role of railways in economic development in the pre-independence period, cotton, jute industry. So 8 or 9 topic is basically there. So if you have prepared all, out of those 8 to 9, usually 3 to 4 will always come. Second part is Indian economy after independence. But after independence is further divided into 2 parts. Pre-liberalization, that is pre-91, and post-liberalization since 1991. But I have divided Indian economy into 10 different parts. 1, pre-independence, then entire economy divided into sector-wise. Sector-wise means you take agriculture. So you have to complete agriculture. Pre-liberalization as well as post-liberalization. Then we take industry, complete industry, pre as well as post liberation. Third section will become the services. Then topic will be taking the public finance. So public finance में all developments of the public finance, including the finance commission recommendation, then tax reform, expenditure reform. So entire paper 2 is divided broadly into 10 parts. 10 different parts में divided है like this. Indian economy in the pre-independence period, then agriculture, industry and services, public finance, monetary system and banking, external sector, poverty, unemployment, inequality, and this is population. All problems of the economy clubbed together. Then planning and development and all current affairs topics. All government scheme clubbed. So current will be becoming an integral part of it. Clear? So we will be taking care of the current affairs as well as the government schemes along with this. So when you are preparing paper 2 or Indian economy, do it topic wise and divide this into 10 different parts, and all topic wise question has been also segregated for paper 2 also. Clear? And what will be the source for this paper 2? For paper 2, source will be mainly for this pre-independence. You can refer to SSM Desai, Economic History of India. Again, the scanned copy of it will be available to you. Apart from this, other important source will be Mishra and Puri Indian economy. You will have a choice between this Uma Kapila and Mishra Puri. The difference between these two books is that although this will be a better book in the sense explanation is more, but you will have to create answer out of it. The advantage of Mishra and Puri is that it is basically in point wise. So it is easy to make answer if you are reading Mishra and Puri, and it will be difficult to make answer if you are reading Uma Kapila. Although because Uma Kapila is basically edited book, उसमें EPW के articles है, तो journal वाले article है, काफ़ी detailed description है, but you will have to make answer out of this. And third thing will be your economic survey. So survey of 2024 जो पहले है, and when it will come in the month of January next year, again we will be taking care of that. And any newspaper, to be just familiar with the current changes in the economy part. Clear? So in terms of the content or source for paper 2, it will be basically limited to these 3 to 4 sources. Clear? Now in the paper pattern is basically question paper pattern, because that is another important dimension of this. See, paper 1 and paper 2 both question paper pattern will be same. Section A, question number 1 will be compulsory and it will have 5 parts. So 5 into 10, 50 marks question is first one. And section B starts from question number 5, again 5 parts, 5 into 10, 50 marks. That is again compulsory. So in both section first question is compulsory. So 10 parts compulsory, you don't have any choice there. Then question number 2, question number 3, question number 4. Each question will be having 3 parts. And generally the structure is, it is 20 plus 15 plus 15. 50 marks here. In every question, 3 parts are there. Question number 6, 7, 8. Again 3 parts. So if you count all those sub parts, 28 hai in total. And out of 28 you have to attempt in fact 19. 10 compulsory, then selecting at least one from each section, attempt 5 questions. So if you choose a question number 2 and 3 here, then you have to take only one question from here. Clear? So 19 parts you have to attempt out of 28. So what is the overall structure of the question paper? How many questions? 8. That is 400 marks. You attempt 250. Paper का structure 400 है, you have to attempt 250 marks of question. Now even if the question paper is very difficult, even if suppose it comes very difficult paper, even in that difficult paper, out of that 400, about 150 marks question will be always easy. And if you have practiced regularly, then out of that 100, you can score about 90 to 100 marks there only in that 150. And then in the remaining 100, if you score, let us say about 35 or 40 also, then also your score will be about 120, you can say 130 to 140. And now 130 to 140 is considered a very good score. That means in terms of getting any rank, in fact. So any score in the range of about 275, both paper 275, that will be very good score. ठीक है, करंट ईयर 269 पे भी ऑब्वियसली 269 का स्कोर भी है, रैंक इज इन विद इन 100. सो स्कोर ऑफ अबाउट 260 275 और 280 इज कंसीडर्ड ए वेरी गुड स्कोर. वो आज का फैक्ट ये भी है. बिफोर 2018 इट यूज टू बी मोर देन 300, बट वो नॉर्मलाइजेशन है यूपीएससी का. दे हैव नॉर्मलाइज दिस स्कोर. द स्कोर ऑफ 320 ऑफ 2018 एंड बिफोर, we can say that score is now equivalent to 270 280 in 2025. So I am saying if that question paper is difficult in that scenario, even in that scenario you can score about 270 to 75. So obviously in order to do it, what will be including this apart from the lecture? So in terms of the number of lecture, it will be approximately 150 or plus. Out of that, paper 1 itself will take about 100 lecture, paper 1, and paper 2 we can cover it in about 45 to 50 lecture. 45 to 50 lecture for paper 2 and about 100 lecture for paper 1, because content in paper 1 is more. In paper 1 the content is more. So in terms of lecture it will be about 150 spread over 5 to 6 months. So the batch starting, it will tentatively end by year end. So by December we plan to complete this 150 number of lecture. In addition to this lecture, you will be getting a daily answer writing program will be included. We are right now doing it for the mains of 2025. That will be included for your batch as well. In that daily answer writing program, it is basically a 60 days program. Every day you have to write 5 questions. That means we will take 300 question there. Day 1, day 2, you will have a schedule for it. What we have to cover in day 1, day 2, day 3 and so on. So if you have prepared the content, then start writing the daily answer writing practice. So 300 question on, see the purpose of writing that daily is that you will be able to learn what you are going to dictate in every lecture. ठीक है, जो आप क्लास के अंदर नोट सीखेंगे, you have to learn it, but you can learn only by writing it. If you are not writing it, you are not able to replicate it. So daily answer writing will be the second part. Then third part will be your test series. Now in that test series about 12 tests are there, and I said in every set how many questions. The format of the question paper is same. So every set will have 28 question. ठीक है, जो स्ट्रक्चर अभी यहाँ मार्क रखा है, दिस पैटर्न विल बी देयर फॉर एवरी टेस्ट. So 28 into 12, about 336 question is there. So in total about 636 number of question है, and you will have answer to all those questions. You will be giving you the model answer. So even if you get a model answer of 2 side, तो 636 question है, You will have more than 1200 page of only content in the form of answer. And if you prepare about 600 plus number of question, I think all past year question PYQ will be included in that. It is not only PYQ, it will be PYQ plus the new question, because in everyday question, that is 5 question, we take into account of that. We will have 2 or 3 past year question and 2 or 3 new question, so that every day you are preparing PYQ as well as so daily answer writing, then your test, and other part is basically the study material. So in that study material, I said compilation of different sources. So in terms of lecture, daily answer, test and the material content, okay, that this support will be getting from us. And every day I will be showing the question also, okay, based upon this lecture you can answer these 2 questions, you have to write those questions every day also. That is in addition to those 5 question program. Clear? So any question up to this regarding the optional part? Now come to the second course, and we can say second as well as the third. For economic service, the paper structure is that you will have 6 paper in total. Now out of that 6 paper, 4 paper for economics, G1, G2, G3 and Indian economy. 1 paper for general English and 1 paper for general studies. So the focus will be initially on those 4 economics paper, although we will be getting lecture for GS as well as English. Now one thing for Indian economic service, we can say it is a kind of paradox, is that in economic service number of vacancies are always less, 18 plus minus 2, 3, not more than that. Current year जो exam हो रहा है, it is only for the 12 seats. But despite less number of seats, the cutoff is also very low. Previous year it was just 119 out of 1000 for interview call in the general category. 419 out of 1000, that is less than 42% for interview call. The topper scored 451 out of 1000 in the written part. But point is, why it is difficult to score here? What is difficult to score? Why the cutoff is low? One reason, the content is very wide here. Content is very wide. Whatever I have said for the optional, everything is included plus 100 more lecture. And that 100 more lecture is to cover mathematical side, maths, stats, econometrics, micro numerical, consumer behavior, production, cost. Those topics were not mentioned in optional, but it is very much part of paper 1 here. Paper 1 micro divided into 5 parts: consumer demand, production, value, distribution and welfare. So you can say distribution and welfare becomes common. Distribution and welfare is common, but what is separate is demand, production and theory of value. Then what is separate is mathematical methods in economics and stats and the econometrics. So this section alone will take about 35 to 40 lecture. These 3 parts, which will be mainly numerical in orientation, about 25 lecture plus. And if you add these 2, then about 15 lectures. So 40 lecture for this part and 40 lecture for this part. So paper 1 alone will have around 80 number of lectures. Paper 1 alone. So in terms of content, it is very wide. If you go by see the second paper has 8 subparts. Second paper has 8 parts. Small topics of economic thought not included in optional. National income accounting not included in the optional. Financial and capital market not included in the optional. But what is common? Common will be the macro. Common will be economic growth and development. Common will be international, balance of payment, global institution. So in addition to the optional, again you have to cover economic thought, national income accounting and financial and capital market. So extra we can say combine all extra 10 lecture here also. These extra you are adding to the optional lecture. Third paper will have 4 parts. Public finance, but there are some additional topic of public finance to be covered in the economic service, not in the optional. Industrial economics is nothing but micro, market structure is there. Environmental economics in detail you have to cover here. Environmental accounting is also part of it. And state, market and planning. So 4 parts here, and for Indian economy 8 parts, 11 parts. And what will be added here is inflation, labor, urbanization and migration, in addition to what you have done in the optional. But एक major difference होगा, pre-independence is not part of the syllabus. In economic service, it is only since independence, and more question will be current related. Current related will be more question. More scheme based question you will find in the economic service, less scheme based question in the optional paper. So although the approach will be same, but you have to identify what are the major differences between the optional content and the economic service. Clear? Now in this part again, in terms of lecture, about 250 plus daily answer writing, but daily answer writing will be 60, optional वो तो रहेंगे, plus about I will say 50 added. So more than 100 days for daily answer writing practice. In terms of the test, it will be 20. For economics there will be 20 tests, 3 hours. Out of that, the composition of that 20 will be that for general economics 1, we will have a 6. For general economics 1 there will be 6. For general economics 2, 3 and Indian economy 4 each, and 1 each for GS and English. So 20 tests of 3 hours and more than 100 days for daily answer writing program. So 100 every day if you are writing 5 questions, so 500 questions we have to take in the daily answer writing, and in addition to the 20 regular test. Clear? So when we conduct the lecture Monday to Friday, जो lecture आपके होंगे इस time पे, that will be basically common. To begin with, it will be basically with the common, and then for economic service we will incorporate Saturday also, and once you come on Saturday there will be 2 lecture. So on an average expect around 7 to 8 lecture for economic service every week, and 5 lecture for the economics optional. Clear? And just see the what is common between this content and the RBI is that in RBI the format of exam is this. RBI का format of exam है. It is divided into 2 parts. Phase 1 is objective, 2 घंटे का पेपर होगा, 400 marks, 35 क्वेश्चन 2 मार्कर होते हैं, 30 क्वेश्चन 1 मार्क के होते हैं with negative marking. So first phase is basically objective. You have to qualify, but you have to maximize it also, because the marks of phase 1 is counted in your final merit list also. It is not that you have to only qualify here. Phase 1 you have to qualify to write phase 2, but the score of phase 1 will be included in the final merit list. Second paper is English. Second phase is all descriptive. So second phase is all descriptive, and just see the syllabus part. What was written in the economic service part within micro 5 topics: consumer demand, production, market, distribution and welfare. Same thing is written here: consumer demand, production, market, distribution, welfare. You will get same syllabus in phase 1, same syllabus in phase 2. Content is same. Phase 1 के अंदर it is written. Similarly, if you find in phase 2, consumer theory, production, market, distribution, welfare. So in terms of the content, both are same. Only the format of exam is different, and one more difference. Unlike economic service, it is a high scoring exam. It will be high scoring exam. To qualify in RBI DPR, a score of 68% is required. जो कट ऑफ अवेलेबल है 23 का लास्ट. फेज 1 कट ऑफ वाज 112 फॉर जनरल कैटेगरी, 112, that means 56% out of 200. सेकेंड फेज का जो कट ऑफ हो गया सेकेंड फेज के लिए, दैट 56 से वो 64 है और फाइनली इट इज 68. So to score 68 overall including the interview, you have to score in phase 1 about 75 to 80 marks in economics paper. So syllabus wise it is same, only the format of exam is different. Since format is different, so we will have a different test series for RBI. And for this part, phase 1, we will have about 50 lectures separate for RBI phase 1 exam. Clear? So I think I have explained all three part. Now we can begin with the content part. So preferably maintain separate spiral for different topic, otherwise it will be a very bulky spiral, because if you include everything in one, that means for micro, for macro, for international, for growth and development, for paper 2 Indian economy, try to maintain different spiral. So I am starting first of all with the advanced micro, and in micro take the most important topic, which is a market structure. Most important topic here is market structure. So start with this part, micro market structure. Now this content is, market structure is basically part of we can say paper 1 in optional IAS, and in the economic service it is part of general economics 1 paper as well as general economics 3 paper. In general economics 1 it is in terms of theory of value, and in G3 it is industrial economics. It is part of paper 1 micro, and G1 theory of value and industrial economics in G3. So for this section we have to refer to the question paper of market, we have to refer to the question paper of theory of value and industrial economics. ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन पेपर का स्ट्रक्चर ये तीनों एक साथ इंटीग्रेटेड मिलेगा. मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर इज 1 फॉर ऑप्शनल, देन फॉर इकोनॉमिक सर्विस पेपर theory of value, the nature of question is same, so for practice it will be better if you cover all, and same topic question is basically in this industrial economics as well, industrial economics के लिए भी होगा. Clear? So what we are going to cover is basically market structure for paper 1 and industrial economics and this part. जितने common content होंगे will be doing that common content initially. And again I repeat, whatever is written extra for the Indian economic service will be taken care of in the extra lecture, because we are having about more than 100 lecture extra in addition to the optional content. So what we are doing today is the common part. So start with the market structure. See the content of concept of market. First thing is that we are studying microeconomics, which means we are dealing with individual, either individual person or individual product. So micro is all about dealing with individual, so it individual firm, individual product, individual consumer. And the concept of market is always product specific. Here we are studying the product market. It is product specific concept. What is the meaning of the product specific concept? If you change the product, the concept of market will be different here. It is product specific concept. So whenever you read market, just in your reference keep some example ki you are studying the market for, let us say, car, or studying the market for TV, or studying the market for pen, but there is only one product. ठीक है, we are not studying the marketplace here. It is basically market for a particular product. If market for that particular product has only one seller, then market will be called as monopoly. If it will be more than one but not large in number, it will be called as oligopoly. If there will be exactly two, we will call it duopoly. If there are large number of firms all producing identical product, perfect competition. Large number of firms all producing differentiated product, market is monopolistic. So this classification of monopoly, oligopoly, perfect competition or monopolistic is based upon number of seller. This concept is basically classified on the basis of number of seller. So if in the market we find only one seller, then we call that market as monopoly market. If in the market you have more than one but not large in number, there are few firms, then market will be termed as oligopoly, and duopoly is part of oligopoly. Duopoly is part of oligopoly. If firms are large in number, and all are producing differentiated product, then market will be called as monopolistic. If firms are large in number but all are producing identical product, same product, homogeneous product, then it will be called as perfectly competitive, perfect competition. So in the market structure topic we have to study all four: monopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic and perfect competition. So first thing is that the classification of market is product specific. So if I ask what is the nature of market, for car industry in India? What is the nature of market for car industry? Perfect competition is characterized by homogeneous product. All cars are not homogeneous. Is it monopolistic? I said the concept of market is product specific concept. Can we consider Mercedes as a substitute for Maruti? So whether they belong to the same market? No. Both are car but they are not belonging to the same market. So we can have a separate market for the luxury car. We can have a separate market for the other car. So because the product has to be close substitute of each other. It is not that all type of car will be clubbed into one market. So the concept of market is basically a product specific concept. In order to belong to a particular group in the market, the product must be substitute of each other, and substitute means they must be economic substitute also in terms of the price, and they must be the technical substitute also in terms of the need that they will satisfy. So all four type of market we have to study. We will start first of all with the perfect competition. Then I will move to oligopoly in terms of the weightage of the question. We will start with the perfect competition, then we move to oligopoly, then we move to monopolistic, and then finally to monopoly part. Because syllabus is for option is written as monopolistic, duopoly and oligopoly without mentioning perfect competition, without mentioning monopoly. Now in any market, what is the objective of firm? When I call market means aggregation of all the firms. Now in the market there can be only one firm, more than one firm, large number of firms. So what is the objective of any firm? The objective of any firm will to maximize. So first of all we have to learn what is the profit maximizing condition. So initially I am writing some basic points, assuming that कि आपने कभी micro नहीं पढ़ रखा है. So I will be starting with that. For any market, objective of firm will be to maximize profit. So what will be the profit maximizing condition? So first we have to explain that part. So write down the first basic point here. when we calculate profit, profit will be the difference between revenue and cost. Revenue and cost. It will be a difference of revenue and cost. Suppose I calculate profit for Bliss Point. How to calculate it? I have to calculate first of all revenue. But what is revenue here? Fees multiplied by number of students. Fees means price multiplied by quantity. That will become the revenue. P into Q is revenue. What will be the cost? Cost will have majorly two parts. One type of cost is fixed. One type of cost is fixed. Like fixed costs are those which do not depend upon quantity, which do not depend upon the number of students. Like rental cost will become the fixed cost. It does not depend upon the number of students in the class. So fixed costs are those costs which are independent from quantity, and variable costs are those which depend upon quantity. So what could be the variable? The study material will be variable. Number of students more, you have to print more study material. So those costs will become the variable cost. So divide this cost into two parts. One is total fixed cost, other is total variable cost. P into Q. So profit is basically total revenue minus total cost. प्रॉफिट को पाई के सिंबल से डिनोट किया है. ठीक है, विल राइट इन दिस फॉर्म. Profit is basically total revenue minus total cost. Now write some another basic points. You know the meaning of total revenue now. Price multiplied by the quantity. If I calculate average revenue, how to calculate average revenue? Average revenue simply total revenue divided by quantity. So if I divide total revenue with quantity, actually I am dividing P into Q with Q. Q cancel out हो जाएगा. Therefore average revenue is always equal to AR is always equal to price, remember, in any market. So in place of AR you can write price or vice versa. So average revenue is always equal to price. How to find the marginal revenue? Because these three are very critical concepts. Total, average, marginal. Total revenue, marginal revenue, average revenue. Total cost, marginal cost, average cost. Total utility, marginal utility, average utility. So how to find marginal revenue? Marginal means always additional. So marginal revenue is additional revenue due to additional quantity. Marginal cost, additional cost due to additional quantity. Marginal utility, additional utility due to additional unit consumed. Marginal product, additional product due to additional unit of labor employed. So when we calculate marginal revenue, it is change in total revenue due to change in quantity. You can apply the concept of differentiation also. It is derivative of total revenue with respect to quantity. Change in TR with respect to quantity. So when you differentiate total, you will get marginal. When you differentiate total, you get marginal. So I have written the profit equation. You have to find profit maximizing quantity here. Firm has to decide how much quantity they will produce so that their profit get maximized. So mathematically what you will do if you know the equation. प्रॉफिट का फंक्शन लिखा हुआ है, मुझे इसे मैक्सिमाइज करना है. मैं मैथमेटिकल टूल समझा दे रहा हूँ, ऑल्दो आपके आंसर शीट में कहीं वो यूज़ नहीं करना है. बट मैथमेटिकली इफ अ फंक्शन इज देयर एंड यू हैव टू मैक्सिमाइज इट, इट्स फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव शुड बी इक्वल टू 0 एंड सेकेंड डेरिवेटिव लेस देन 0, नेगेटिव होनी चाहिए, तो फंक्शन मैक्सिमाइज हो जाएगा. तो फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव मीन्स आई एम डिफरेंशिएटिंग दिस विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू क्वांटिटी. So it is differentiation of total revenue with respect to quantity, derivative of total cost with respect to quantity. And I said by differentiating you will get what? Differentiate करने से क्या मिलेगा? Marginal मिल जाएगा. So derivative of total is MR, derivative of total cost is, and first derivative has to be equal to 0. So MR minus MC equal to 0, which means MR must be equal to MC. This is the first and necessary condition for profit maximization. So whenever profit will get maximized, MR must be equal to MC. By equating MR with MC, we calculate profit maximizing quantity. Profit maximization is determined by equating marginal revenue with marginal costs. Clear? I said first derivative 0, second derivative negative. So first, when you differentiate first, that is total revenue, you get derivative will also give you slope. So slope of TR is MR. Now if I differentiate second time, I will be getting slope of MR. First you get slope of TR. Slope of TR is MR. So when you are differentiating second time, you will be getting slope of MR. Second derivative I said negative. So derivative of MR with respect to quantity minus derivative of MC with respect to quantity less than 0, negative. Now this number can be negative in which condition? This complete number can be negative only when this negative number is more, which means slope of marginal cost must be greater than slope of marginal revenue. Slope of MC greater than slope of MR. So you have to remember only two things. Profit of firm get maximized when following two conditions are satisfied. Number one, MR equal to MC, and second, slope of MC greater than slope of MR. मुझे उस मैथमेटिकल इक्वेशन से मतलब नहीं है. I have to interpret in economic way. Now explain the economic logic. What is the reasoning behind when we say profit get maximized when MR is equal to MC? What is the economic logic? Why their equality is necessary? If they are not equal, then what will happen? If they are not equal, then out of these two possibility, just see this. Whenever firm decide any quantity, how firm take a decision whether to produce this quantity or not? When firm produces this quantity, it will add to cost of the firm. It will also add to a revenue of the firm, because by selling you will get revenue. Addition to cost is called marginal cost. Addition to revenue is called marginal revenue. If I say addition to cost is 10 and addition to revenue is 15, that means by producing this unit, firm will add 15 to the revenue and 10 to the cost, which means it will add 5 to the profit. So it is profitable to produce this quantity. So whenever MR is greater than MC, it will be profitable for a firm to produce that quantity, which means quantity will keep on increasing. And if MC is greater than, by producing that quantity, there will be loss. So it will be profitable not to produce that quantity. In fact, you will produce less. So this quantity will continue to change till MR becomes equal to MC. Therefore, equality of MR and MC is required for profit maximization. We will elaborate when we explain it in theory, why the equality of MR and MC is always necessary. Clear? So what is the profit maximizing condition? MR equal to MC and second, slope of MC greater than, जिसको सिंपल लैंग्वेज में कहते हैं MC कट MR from below. That is layman way to interpret it, but you have to write the technical term. Slope of MC greater than slope of MR. Otherwise you can simply write MC cut MR from below. If you do not understand the concept of slope, तो स्कूल लेवल पे एक्सप्लेन कर देते हैं कि MC cut MR from below है, but technically it means slope of MC greater than slope of MR. I write the second basic point now. I write equation of profit again. Profit is difference between revenue and cost. Profit is difference between revenue and cost. For revenue you write price into quantity. Price into quantity. Profit denoted by pi. In place of price, what you can write? Price is always equal to AR. So in place of price, I am writing AR. That means average revenue into quantity will become total revenue. Similarly, how to calculate total cost? If average revenue into quantity gives you total revenue, so average cost into quantity will give you total cost. So in place of total cost, you can write average cost into quantity. Take quantity common. In bracket write down AR minus AC. This is the formula to calculate profit. Now answer few things. How to get this quantity? Firm will always produce how much quantity? Firm will always produce that much quantity where profit is. And what is the condition for profit maximization? MR equal to MC. So once you equate MR with MC, you will get this quantity. Once you equate MR with MC, then you will get this quantity. Although you will get this quantity, but the term in bracket, it can be 0, it can be positive, it can be, so there are 3 possibilities. Write down all. Number 1, if average revenue is equal to average cost, then if AR is equal to AC, तो ये number 0 हो गया. 0 profit means break even point. No profit, no loss. So this is a break even point, no profit, no loss. Break even point, no profit, no loss. When we say no profit, no loss, actually it include normal profit also. No profit include normal profit. What is normal profit? And what is excess profit? You have supernormal profit, you have normal profit. What is normal profit? Normal profit, remember, is part of the cost. Just consider this example, it will become clear for you. Just see this. Whenever you calculate cost, cost is basically cost of production. So whenever a firm produces any quantity, it uses factors of production like labor, land, capital, entrepreneur. To labor, firm will pay wage. To land, firm will make payment in the form of interest. To capital, you will pay interest. And to entrepreneur, it will be profit. So if I say that worker get a wage of 50, landowner get a rent of 50, a capital owner get a interest of 50, entrepreneur get a profit of 50. So if I calculate total cost, this will become 200. Total cost is 200. If revenue of firm is also 200, then technically the profit is 0. Profit 0 है. But in that 0 profit we have 50. ये इंटरप्रेनर का नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट है. अगर रेवेन्यू 250 हो जाए तो who will keep that extra revenue? Who will keep that extra revenue? That extra revenue will be kept by the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur organizes the production function. So whatever will be the extra revenue, that extra revenue will be kept by the entrepreneur. That extra revenue will be called as the supernormal profit or excess profit. So whenever you calculate 0 profit include normal profit. 0 profit include normal profit. Clear? So one case is normal profit if AR is equal to AC. Understand the second one. If AR is greater than AC, then naturally there will be profit. We will call it supernormal profit or excess profit. You can call it abnormal profit also. Profit in excess of normal. Third case is very important. If AR is less than AC, then what will happen? If AR is less, AC is more, negative number is more, then this entire number will become negative. Negative profit means loss. So what firm will do in loss? Think carefully. What firm will do in loss? If there is loss to a firm, what will be the behavior of firm? In loss, there are two possibilities. Firm may continue despite loss, or firm may shut down. So when firm will continue despite loss, there are two possibilities, remember. In the case of loss, there are two possibilities. Firm may continue to operate, or firm may shut down business. So when firm will continue to operate despite loss, if firms are able to cover their fixed cost or variable cost. When firm will continue to operate despite loss, decision depends upon what? Firm is having loss, but firm prefer to continue despite loss. If firms are able to cover the variable cost. So firm will continue to operate if revenue is greater than total variable cost. Revenue more than variable cost होना चाहिए. If you get more than variable cost, which cost you are covering? Revenue more than variable, it means what? I have covered the variable cost and some part of the fixed cost also. और अगर प्रोडक्शन बंद कर देते तो क्या होता? You will be having the entire fixed cost loss. So it is better to continue despite loss. So in the loss we will continue if revenue is more than variable cost. And when they will be shut down? Shut down when revenue is less than variable cost. ऐसे याद रखने का एक आसान तरीका है, सिंपल. Firm will continue when firm will have operating profit. Firm will operate when firm will have operating profit. And what is operating profit? Operating profit is only difference of revenue and variable cost. Operating profit is only difference of revenue and variable cost. You can write it here. Operating profit is difference of revenue and variable cost only. So if I say that operating profit is positive, so when this number will be positive? If I say this number is positive, so this number can be positive only when TR is more than TVC. If TR is greater than TVC, then this number will be positive. And if you divide both sides by quantity, then what you will get? TR divided by quantity is average revenue. Average revenue is price. And TVC divided by quantity is average variable cost. So when firm continue to operate despite loss, firm continue to operate despite loss if revenue more than variable cost or price greater than average variable cost. So what is shutdown price? Shutdown price. What is shutdown price? Price equal to ABC, but ABC is not a constant number. Which value of ABC? Minimum point of the ABC. Shutdown price is equal to minimum of average variable cost. Write down. Shutdown price is equal to minimum of average variable cost. Shutdown price is equal to minimum of average variable cost. Equal to minimum of average variable cost. Clear? Just refer to these two basic points. When profit of firm get maximized, MR equal to MC, slope of MC greater than slope of MR. Second, when profit of firm get maximized, firm may produce, firm may not produce despite loss. So in the case of loss, when firm will continue to operate if revenue is more than variable cost, and if revenue is less than variable cost, then firm will shut down. Is shutdown equivalent to exiting the industry? शटडाउन कर दिया बिजनेस, इसका मतलब वो फर्म मार्केट में है या नहीं है? है, प्रोडक्शन में है. इज इन बिजनेस पर शट डाउन किया प्रोडक्शन. ड्यूरिंग कोविड अलॉट ऑफ प्लांट वाज शट डाउन, नॉट द फर्म एग्जिटेड फ्रॉम द मार्केट. शट डाउन इज नॉट एग्जिट. शट डाउन इज ओनली टेम्पररी सस्पेंशन ऑफ प्रोडक्शन एक्टिविटी. टेम्पररी सस्पेंशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्शन एक्टिविटी. So with these two basic points, now we can start with the first form of market, and that first form of market is perfect competition. So start with this. Perfect competition. First, write down the important features of this market. The first one is large number of sellers and buyers, because classification is basically on the number of seller, so it will be better if you write large number of seller. That means we are just imagining a market. In that market we say that there are large number of sellers in the market. So what is the significance of this feature? When I say there are large number of sellers in the market, what does it imply? It basically implies that firms are so large in number that one single firm cannot affect the market price. You can't affect market price because one firm is too small as compared to the market. So who will determine the price then? Price will be determined by the market forces. And what is the market forces? Demand and supply. So now in the perfect competition market, you will draw one diagram for the market, other for a single firm. Market is all, and when I say firm, firm could be only one, but all firms are symmetric. So in the market, price is determined by intersection of demand and supply curve. Suppose if I say that price determined in the market is 10, all firms will accept that price. So for all firm the price will remain 10. All firm price will remain 10. If price remains 10 for all the firms, then for a single firm the line will become horizontal. This will be the demand curve for a firm. Just see what is the significance here. Price into quantity, that becomes total revenue. From there you can calculate the marginal revenue. Now for a single firm price is always same, which means at same price, that is 10, firm can sell 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit or as much unit as it can. So what will be the total revenue? 10, 20, 30, and what is MR? MR is addition to revenue. So every time how much is the addition? Which means this price value and MR both are, that is the property of perfect competition. Perfect competition का price किसके हमेशा MR के बराबर होगा, not always, only under perfect competition. So this line is basically price line as well as marginal revenue line. You have written this line horizontal line. This is price line as well as marginal revenue line. So under perfect competition, whenever you have to draw the diagram for a firm, you will draw demand curve as horizontal. P equal to MR करना है. And what determines this P? This P is determined by the market. So now the nature of question is will never be that you have to explain the properties of or features of the perfect competition market, but since we are starting with the basic point, just write down 1 or 2 line for this. What is the significance of this feature? Just write on that one liner. The significance of large number of sellers is that the significance of large number of sellers is that the significance of large number of sellers is that a single seller act as price taker, single seller act as price taker, single seller act as price taker. It means at a given market price, firm can sell as much quantity as it can. Firm can sell as much quantity as it can. Firm can sell as much quantity as it can. Okay, so just remember this first property. Now second is, all firms in the market, all are producing homogeneous product. All are producing homogeneous product. What is the meaning of the term homogeneous product? It is identical in all respect. So all firms are selling identical product. All firms are selling, it means all firms are selling identical product, identical in all respect. All firms are selling identical product. Any example of such product which is identical? Any example of homogeneous product? टूथपेस्ट आइडेंटिकल कैसे होते हैं? क्लोजअप, पेप्सोडेंट अलग अलग है. ब्रांड सबसे बड़ा डिफरेंस है. एनी अदर? एप्पल में भी अलग होते हैं. वाशिंगटन का एप्पल अलग होता है, न्यूजीलैंड का अलग होता है, कश्मीर का अलग होता है. हैं? होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट का कोई एग्जांपल रियल लाइफ में नहीं होते. इट इज़ जस्ट एन इमेजिनरी कंसेप्ट वी आर स्टडिंग हियर. We are just imagining a market, and that market consists of large number of firms all selling same product. So we will just examine what will happen if all sell same product. Actually it does not happen, but if all will sell same product, then what will happen? So that we can compare this situation with the reality. Market are always imperfect. So if market is always imperfect, why you study perfect? Because हर मार्केट का इम्परफेक्शन भी अलग अलग है. Some market are more imperfect, some market are less imperfect. So how to compare? So for that comparison we need a concept of perfect also. So second feature is this, and the third feature is free entry and exit. Free entry and exit. That means from the market there will be free entry and exit. Whatever be the number of firms in the market, they can freely exit and new firms can come inside the market. Now what is the implication of this property? This implication of this property that in long run all firm will have only normal profit. And when firm earn normal profit? When price is equal to average cost. So if firms in the market earn supernormal profit, then what will happen? If firms in the market earn supernormal profit, then what will happen? Due to more profit, new firms will enter. As supernormal profit means price greater than ACA. If firms enter into the market, so if firms will enter into the market, then supply in the market will increase. With more supply, price will start declining, and it will continue to decline so that it will become equal to average cost. And in the case of loss, what happens? Firms will leave the market. So when firm will leave the market, supply will shift to the left, price will start rising. So write down the implication here. The implication of free entry and exit is that Implication of free entry and exit is that firms in long run will earn firms in long run will earn only normal profit. Firms in long run will earn only normal profit. This is because in the case of supernormal profit, new firms will enter into the market. And in case of loss, firms will leave the industry or firms will leave the market. In case of loss, firms will leave the market. Primarily ये तीन information, these three properties are important, although there are other features also like perfect knowledge होना चाहिए, mobility of factors of production are there, but these three features are good enough to explain all content for market structure. Now we can begin with the first question part now, which is price, output, determination. You can say it is a price output determination or write it as equilibrium of firm. And which firm we are referring to? A firm belonging to perfect competition market. And when firm will be in equilibrium? Firm will be in equilibrium only when firm profit get maximized or loss get minimized. And what is the profit maximizing condition? MR equal to MC. Now there are two approaches in fact. One is TRTC approach, other is MRMC approach. First paragraph here. The firm is, write down first paragraph, the firm is in equilibrium when, its profit is maximized, or loss is minimized, So profit is defined as difference between total revenue and total cost. So given that normal profit is always included in cost, after comma, profit is always considered as above the normal rate of return. Full stop. Equilibrium of firm can be shown graphically. In two ways or two methods. One, TR and TC approach, and second, MR and MC approach. TR-TC approach, MR-MC approach. So there are two approaches. First, TR and TC approach. We will take the first one. TR and TC approach. Total revenue and total cost approach, and according to that we have to explain equilibrium. So now you have to draw TR and TC, not MR and MC. Axis पे mark quantity, on vertical axis mark TR and TC, and we know that profit is the gap between revenue and cost. So what will be the plotting for total revenue? पहले इसको सेपरेटली प्लॉट करेंगे दोनों कर्व. हाउ टू प्लॉट TR? कैन यू प्लॉट TR? TR is price multiplied by, but you have said that single firm is a price taker. तो फर्म के लिए प्राइस क्या है? कांस्टेंट है. So this P is actually constant. So P constant, like P is 10 into 1, 10 into 2, 10 into 3. So what will be the shape? It will not horizontal. Horizontal तो price line होगा ना. That number is not constant. 10, 20, 30, 40. So this is straight line. This line you can draw it steeper or flatter, that depend upon the price, but line will be a straight line. And why you are drawing it straight? Why you have drawn it straight? Because price is constant. So since firms are price taker in perfect competition market, therefore you will draw total revenue line as a straight line. ठीक है, वो description में will write it. Now draw for the total cost. I said total cost has how many component? Fixed cost and variable. Fixed means does not depend upon quantity. So even when quantity will be 0, there will be some fixed cost. So even when quantity is 0, there will be some fixed cost. Then as quantity will rise, variable cost will be added. So total cost curve is actually inverted S in shape. Total cost curve is inverted S in shape. You can draw total cost curve, positive slope रखना, but inverted S in shape. Now where profit is maximized in the graph? Profit is the gap of TR and TC. If I take intersection, तो TR और TC इक्वल हो गया, प्रॉफिट 0. ये पॉइंट यहाँ पे 0 है. TR and TC gap is maximized somewhere here. So this must be the profit maximizing quantity produced by the perfectly competitive firm. Now theory में लिख रखा है कि if MR is equal to MC then profit get maximized. Can we say that MR is equal to MC at that quantity? Although we have not drawn MR, we have not drawn MC. Can we say that at this quantity MR is also equal to MC? What is MR actually? Slope of TR. And what is MC? Slope of TC. Total revenue line straight line है, so its slope will always remain same. Total cost curve is actually non-linear. किसी पॉइंट पर स्लोप निकालने के लिए you have to draw tangency point, tangency at that point. So at this point if I draw a tangency, then both this tangency and TR line will be parallel, implying that MR equal to MCA. Now since at this quantity revenue is more and cost is less, therefore this diagram shows supernormal profit. ये supernormal profit का diagram है. This is for the supernormal profit. Now in that context, first read the question, जो basic content से what you can answer, and this is from the past year question, and this question as it is ये AS में भी है as well as in economic service both. See that question first. ठीक है, मार्केट सेक्टर में यू कैन फाइंड दिस क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 34 ये पढ़ना है. रीड दिस क्वेश्चन नंबर 34. Statement is that under perfect competition in the short run, find out graphically without using average cost curve. क्वेश्चन ने लिमिट लगा रखा है, यू cannot use average cost. The condition in equilibrium for the existence of normal profit, supernormal and loss. Without using average cost curve, show three conditions: supernormal, normal and loss. सेम क्वेश्चन एज इट इज 2017 में इकोनॉमी सर्विस में आ रखा है, एज इट इज विदाउट एनी एडिशन एडिटिंग. बट वो 5 मार्क में था और ये 10 मार्क्स में. विदाउट यूजिंग एवरेज कॉस्ट मीन्स यू डोंट हैव एनी अदर ऑप्शन, यू हैव टू फॉलो TRTC अप्रोच. व्हेन यू गो बाय द MRMC अप्रोच, जो इसके बाद एक्सप्लेन करेंगे, इन दैट वी विल हैव टू ड्रॉ द एवरेज कॉस्ट, ओनली देन यू कैन कैलकुलेट प्रॉफिट. So here we have to explain basically TR and TC approach. So this diagram is for, the diagram you have drawn is basically for, draw it for loss and normal. 3 diagram separate बनने, and then we have to explain it also. तो ये concept जो बना रखा है, this is for the supernormal. I am saying draw and show loss. But बेसिक से यू कैन रिकॉल दैट लॉस में 2 पॉसिबिलिटी होती है. 1, फर्म में शट डाउन और फर्म में कंटिन्यू. तो यू हैव टू शो दैट फर्म विल कंटिन्यू डिस्पाइट लॉस. शो दैट फर्म इज हैविंग लॉस बट फर्म विल कंटिन्यू टू ऑपरेट डिस्पाइट लॉस. हाउ टू ड्रॉ इट? कंडीशन फॉर लॉस. ठीक है, फॉर लॉस मीन्स टोटल रेवेन्यू मस्ट बी लेस एज कंपेयर टू टोटल कॉस्ट, देन ओनली देयर विल बी लॉस. बट फॉर प्रोडक्शन टू कंटिन्यू, दिस रेवेन्यू हैज टू बी ग्रेटर देन व्हाट? वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. मैंने कंडीशन यहाँ लिख दिया है, इसके अकॉर्डिंगली डायग्राम बनाना है. ड्रॉ डायग्राम अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस कंडीशन. फर्स्ट ड्रॉ द TR line. I said TC must be more than TR. TC must be more than TR. So TC must be more than TR means starting with a fixed cost, draw total cost curve completely above it. But variable cost must be less than TR. So when you draw variable cost, it will start from the origin because it depends upon quantity. So starting from the origin, draw the variable cost parallel to the total cost. Parallel to the total cost. If there is profit, we maximize. If there is loss, we minimize. So wherever you get the minimum gap, just mark that quantity. This will be the quantity. Now identify which distance is loss and which distance is operating profit. For this quantity, cost is more, revenue is, if I mark this point as MN, then you can say loss is equivalent to distance MN. But what is operating profit? Operating profit is a gap of revenue and variable cost. Revenue is more, variable cost is less. This point. NR. So second diagram is for loss. Now draw the third one for normal profit. So what will be the normal profit case? It has to be only tangent on the total revenue line. In the case of loss, you have drawn it above. So in the case of normal profit, just draw it tangent. Starting from this, just draw it tangent here. Every time mark the axis. This is quantity, this is TR and TC. Although question was saying show it graphically, but it does not mean कि आपने सिर्फ 3 डायग्राम बना दिया छोड़ दिया. You have to elaborate, explain a little bit. Write down. Under perfect competition, total revenue curve is a straight line. Under perfect competition, total revenue curve, TR curve, is a straight line. Under perfect competition, total revenue curve is a straight line passing through origin, because firm is a price taker. It means firm can sell any amount of output. At current market price. Firm can sell any amount put at current market price. So the slope of TR is MR. The slope of TR is MR. And it is constant and equal to existing market price. So under perfect competition, you can just write on this point. Under perfect competition, P equal to AR equal to MR. Perfect competition की ये प्रॉपर्टी होती है, P equal to AR है, equal to MR है. Next paragraph. The total cost curve is inverted S. जैसे यहाँ पे मेंशन कर देना उसे. Total cost curve is inverted S in shape. We will explain why it is inverted S when we will be discussing the production topic. The total cost curve is inverted S in shape due to law of variable proportion. Next paragraph. In short run, because question में यार क्या word mention था, in short run. Question was basically mentioning this. Under perfect competition in the, so what is short run and long run in economics? What is short run? Economic interpretation term है वो, short run, and how it is different from the long run. Short run is basically characterized by two things. One, there must be some fixed factor. Second, in short run you cannot exit or enter into the market. Entry exit is feature of long run. In long run all factors are variable, nothing is fixed. Short run में क्या होना है, there will be some fixed factor and new firms cannot enter or firms cannot leave. In long run all factors are variable and firms can enter or firms can leave the market. Continue. In short run due to presence of fixed factor, and also due to no possibility of entry and exit, also due to no possibility of entry and exit, firms can earn, after comma, firms can earn, just specify all three conditions, firms can earn A, supernormal profit, B, loss, C, normal profit. Firms can earn supernormal profit, B, loss, C, normal profit. Next paragraph. Now you have to explain accordingly this. As shown in diagram 1, diagram 1 is for supernormal profit. As shown in diagram 1, the firm maximizes its profit. As shown in diagram 1, the firm maximizes its profit by producing quantity Q star. By producing quantity Q star, where distance between TR and TC, where distance between TR and TC is maximized. Distance between TR and TC is maximized. Full stop. At any other level of output, at any other level, that is other than Q star, whether you go to the right or whether you go to the left, at any other level of output, profit is not maximized. Profit is not maximized. So since distance between TR and TC is positive, distance between TR and TC is positive, so firm is earning supernormal profit. Since distance between TR and TC is positive, so firm is earning supernormal profit. Distance between TR and TC is positive, so firm is earning supernormal profit. Next paragraph. However, in short run, there could be loss for competitive firm. However, in short run, there could be loss for competitive firm. There could be loss for competitive firm if TC is greater than TR. If TC is greater than TR, but despite loss, firm will continue to operate. Despite loss, firm will continue to operate. Firm will continue to operate if TR is greater than TBC. If TR is greater than TBC, because in that case firm is having operating profit. Firm is having operating profit. So also, if firm will close down or if firm will shut down, then loss will be greater. If firm will shut down, then loss will be greater, and it will be entire fixed cost. It will be entire fixed cost. Complete fixed cost का लॉस हो जाएगा. थर्ड केस नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ में, ये डायग्राम 2 हो गया. सेकेंड, थर्ड, इन शॉर्ट रन there is possibility of normal profit also. There is possibility of normal profit also. There is possibility of normal profit also when total cost curve is tangent on total revenue curve. Total cost curve is tangent on total revenue curve. Total cost curve is tangent on total revenue curve. ठीक है, दिस इज थर्ड डायग्राम. ठीक है, तो ये क्वेश्चन अगर 5 मार्क्स में इकोनॉमिक सर्विस में आ रखा है तो ऑब्वियसली 5 मार्क्स के लिए यू नीड टू इलाबोरेट अ लिटिल बिट एंड शॉर्ट में डायग्राम ड्रॉ करना. बट मिस्टेक यूजुअली स्टूडेंट डेड इन दिस क्वेश्चन वाज, उन्होंने एक ही डायग्राम बनाया ये, और उस डायग्राम में ये पॉइंट मार्क कर दिया सुपर नॉर्मल के लिए, इंटरसेक्शन का पॉइंट मैंने मार्क कर लिया नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट के लिए, और लेफ्ट साइड मार्क कर दिया लॉस के लिए. इज इट करेक्ट? नो, देयर विल बी 3 सेपरेट डायग्राम बिकॉज इन एवरी डायग्राम व्हाट यू हैव टू सेटिस्फाई इज एम आर इक्वल टू एम सी. इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट पे एम आर इक्वल टू एम सी नहीं है, ओनली एट दिस पॉइंट एम आर इक्वल टू एम सी है. सो दिस इज ओनली फॉर वन केस, ओनली फॉर द सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट. सो दिस वाज योर फर्स्ट अप्रोच, और उस फर्स्ट अप्रोच से जो क्वेश्चन पेपर के अंदर आ रखा है. नाउ द ऑल्टरनेट अप्रोच इज एम आर एम सी. बस यहाँ तक कंप्लीट कर लीजिए. सेकेंड अप्रोच इज एम आर एन एम सी अप्रोच. The alternative approach is based on the alternative approach is based on MR and MC. Alternative approach is based upon MR and MC. So profit will get maximized when following conditions are satisfied. Profit will get maximized when following conditions are satisfied. And what condition you will write here? What is the first condition? MR equal to MC. And what is second? Slope of MC greater than slope of MR. And why you have written this? ये पॉइंट जब आपने यहाँ पे एक्सप्लेन किया, व्हाट इज द रीज़न बिहाइंड इट? द रीजनिंग वाज एक्सप्लेन अप फ्रंट, पहले एक्सप्लेन कर रखा है कि हमने फंक्शन को मैक्सिमाइज किया. फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव इक्वल टू 0 आना चाहिए और सेकंड डेरिवेटिव नेगेटिव. दैट इज़ व्हाई यू आर राइटिंग दैट इक्वेशन. बट एग्जामिनेशन में वो शो करने की जरूरत नहीं है. जस्ट राइट ऑन दी कंडीशन एम आर इक्वल टू एम सी. नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ. द इक्वालिटी ऑफ MR and MC is necessary because the equality of MR and MC is necessary because if they are not equal, the equality of MR and MC is necessary because if they are not equal, then firm will, if they are not equal, then firm will continue to change its output. If they are not equal, then firm will continue to change its output. For example, if MR is greater than MC, for example, if MR is greater than MC, then it implies that by producing and selling an extra unit, it implies that by producing and selling an extra unit, firm will add more to revenue. क्योंकि हमारा ज़्यादा है. Firm will add more to revenue and less to total cost. Firm will add more to revenue and less to total cost It means it is profitable to produce that quantity. It means it is profitable to produce that quantity. So if MR is more than MC, firm will continue to produce more. However, if MR is less than MC, if MR is less than MC, then it will be profitable for firm to reduce the quantity. It will be profitable for firm to reduce the quantity. Okay, so just you have to give that reasoning why the equality of MR and MC is required. Next paragraph. In short run, firm can earn supernormal profit. In short run, firm can earn supernormal profit, or there could be loss, or there could be loss, या नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट का केस भी हो सकता है. ऑल थ्री कंडीशन जो वहाँ लिखा था वैसे ही है. अब फॉलोइंग दिस अप्रोच कैन यू शो व्हाट इज हाउ टू शो सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट हियर. नाउ यू हैव टू फॉलो MRMC अप्रोच. Following that approach, what you will do, draw two-part diagram. In one part write for market, second for firm. Price is determined in the market by intersection of supply and demand. All firms are price takers. Therefore, this horizontal line itself is MR line. Price MR both are same. When you draw the average cost curve, total cost was inverted as, that was total cost. Here it is a average cost. Draw U shape. Passing through the minimum point of average cost, draw the marginal cost line. Just free hand drawing कर देना बस. Now apply the condition. What is the profit maximizing condition? MR equal to, so MR equal to MC means intersection of MR and MC. Mark this point first. MR equal to MC. So actually firm will produce this much of quantity and sell it at this price. So which area is revenue area? Revenue is price into quantity. Price into quantity, so entire rectangle is revenue. From revenue we have to subtract cost to get the profit. What is the cost here? Cost is, how to find total cost? Average cost into quantity will become the total cost. For this quantity, average cost is this value. So average cost multiplied by quantity. This smaller rectangle is cost, larger one is revenue. So how much is profit? Difference of these two. So difference of these two means this area. बट ध्यान देना यहाँ पे हमने क्या यूज़ कर लिया है, एवरेज कॉस्ट यूज़ किया है. और क्वेश्चन में स्मार्टली क्या लिखा हुआ था, विदाउट यूजिंग. तो अगर एवरेज कॉस्ट आप यूज़ नहीं कर रहे हैं क्वेश्चन के अंदर तो हम MRMC अप्रोच फॉलो नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज MRMC में यू हैव टू यूज द एवरेज कॉस्ट. Write down. As shown in above diagram, as shown in above diagram, as shown in above diagram, at profit maximizing quantity, as shown in above diagram, at profit maximizing quantity determined by, at profit maximizing quantity determined by equality of MC and MR, equality of MC and MR, After comma, market price is greater than average cost. Market price is greater than average cost. Therefore, firm is earning supernormal profit. Firm is earning supernormal profit. Next paragraph. However, in short run, there could be loss for firm. There could be loss for firm. But firm will continue to operate despite loss. Firm will continue to operate despite loss if price is greater than average variable cost. Price greater than AVC. एक्चुअली यहाँ पे एवरेज कॉस्ट ग्रेटर देन प्राइस लेना है आपको, बट प्राइस ग्रेटर देन एबीसी लेना है. सो ड्रॉ इन द सेम मैनर, वन फॉर द मार्केट, अदर फॉर द फर्म. ये कंडीशन फुलफिल करना है आपको टू फुलफिल दिस. डिमांड एंड सप्लाई इंटरसेक्शन, market and for firm. Horizontal line is MR, where you will draw the average cost. See the condition, this AC has to be greater than price. Price तो fix हो गया, draw AC above it completely. Draw average cost curve completely above it, but variable cost below it. Draw variable cost below it, and the gap between these two will decrease. Why it will decrease? What is the difference between average cost and average variable cost? It is average fixed cost, and that average fixed cost will always decrease because fixed cost तो constant है. As we have more and more quantity, the average fixed cost will decrease. And passing through the minimum of both again. Passing through the minimum of both again, draw the marginal cost line. Apply profit maximizing condition. Condition remains same, MR equal to. So mark that point. Mark the point where MR is equal to MC. MR equal to MC will be this. This will determine the quantity. Price is already fixed. So which area is revenue area now? Revenue is price into quantity, this area. And which area is cost area? For the same quantity, cost is higher. For the same quantity, cost is higher. So now this area is area of loss. In which area is operating profit? Operating profit, if you want to mark operating profit, this will be the operating profit area. Loss will be this. Clear? So loss में you have to draw AC above. Normal profit में you have to draw AC below. So in the normal profit you have to draw only tangent. Third is for the normal profit. ठीक है, इसको एक्सप्लेन करने की जरूरत नहीं, जैसे एक डायग्राम ड्रॉ करके छोड़ देंगे. फॉर डिमांड सप्लाई इंटरसेक्शन, average cost is just tangent on price line. That's it. This diagram you can use if required for normal profit. Clear? So the question was basically for the TRTC approach. So one question you can answer from there, and just a short question for this lecture, where why marginal cost curve is said to be the supply curve of a competitive firm. Marginal cost curve को firm का supply curve कहा जाता है, but why it is called as the supply curve of firm. So one heading, why marginal cost curve is supply curve of competitive firm in short run. Why marginal cost curve is supply curve of firm in short run. पहली बात, अगर मुझे सप्लाई कर्व ड्रॉ करना है किसी भी फर्म का हो, सप्लाई कर्व एक्सप्लेन व्हाट, relation between price and quantity supplied. So if you have to draw the supply curve, then we have to establish relation between price and quantity supplied, that at price P1 supply is Q1, at price P2 supply is Q2, then I can join those points to draw the supply curve. So just apply that concept to explain this. One diagram for the market, second diagram for the firm, third is also for the firm. Left one is for the market, right side is for firm, third भी firm के लिए. See, short concept is मिलेगा. Given any demand curve, if I position supply curve here, I am deliberately taking that point above. I will in fact draw 3 lines, 1, 2, 3. Suppose supply curve is positioned here. In that case, price will be P3. Mark this value as P3 and draw a line here. Firm is a price taker. This will be marginal revenue. Then draw average cost, and below it draw the average variable cost. इन दोनों को मिनिमम पॉइंट से कट करते हुए ड्रॉ दी मार्जिनल कॉस्ट लाइन, and then tell me how much is the profit maximizing quantity. At price P3, how much will be supply? Firm will always supply that much quantity where profit is, and profit maximizing condition require MR equal to, so equality of MR and MC you will find here. So at price P3, firm will supply how much quantity? Q3. So can you plot that P3 and Q3 at one point? I can take that combination. Price P3 ले लिया और quantity Q3 ले ली. I have marked one point. Firm is having profit or loss? In fact, at this quantity price is more, cost is less. So firm is having profit. So firm will actually supply that quantity. If supply curve is, अब ध्यान देना इसको point where I am plotting it. If supply curve is positioned here, but you have to take that position in such a way that intersection of that supply and demand, that is P2, must be passing through these two curves. Which one? Average and average cost and average variable cost. Plot वैसे ही करना आपको. You have to draw this line, horizontal line, in such a way that it is passing through these two cost curves. So now this will be the marginal revenue. Now answer another question. How much quantity firm will produce now? If price is P2, then how much quantity firm will produce? Same condition you have to apply always time. Every time when we explain that MR equal to MC, so equality of MR and MC will be here now. So mark this equality of MR and MC here. So firm will produce quantity Q2. At quantity Q2 and price P2, firm is having profit or loss? Profit है, loss है? Loss because price is less and average cost is more. So firm is having loss, but loss may firm will produce or shut down. Firm will produce because although price is less than average cost but more than average variable cost. More than average variable cost but less than average cost. So add price pay to firm will supply quantity Q2. If price for some reason reduces further and it is equal to the minimum of ABC, passing to the minimum of ABC, then what will happen? Passing to the minimum of ABC. If rather than P2 it is P1, the supply curve is here position. So if price is P1 then MR will be this last line. This is MR equal to MC will determine this quantity Q1. Now what will be the decision? Now firm loss तो है ही, but now even operating profit भी zero हो गया. Even operating profit is now zero. So what is the decision by the firm? So now at that price actually firm is indifferent between producing and not producing, but at any price below this P1 there will be no production. Any price below this, because that P1 is the shutdown price. So at any price below P1 there will be no production. So I can mark supply curve only till price P1, not below that. So if you connect all, you will get actually the supply curve, and that supply curve is coinciding with the marginal cost curve. But remember, this point is first, second, third. So this is coinciding with which line? It is coinciding with marginal cost line. So marginal cost curve is the supply curve, but not the entire marginal cost curve. Which part of marginal cost curve is not supply curve? Area below the average variable cost curve. So area below the average cost curve, this section of marginal cost curve is not the part of supply curve. It is not the part of supply curve. Only that part of MC which is greater than average variable cost, only that part is supply curve. Marginal cost curve firm का supply curve होता है, but only that part which is above the average variable cost. अब इस concept के basis पे we can solve a short question. This was asked in question number 16. See, syllabus में optional में competition not written, but they have asked few questions from the perfect competition. So question number 16, just read out. Under competition, that is perfect competition, cost function is given as, so what is written actually is total cost is equal to y square plus, where y is output, मतलब वो quantity है, Q है. So can you say which part is fixed and which one is variable? One fixed हो गया और ये variable हो गया. From total cost you can calculate marginal cost. Just simple derivative है. Y के respect में differentiate कर लेंगे. तो you will get actually 2y, constant number हो गया 1, its derivative will be 0. Question कह रहा है derive the inverse supply curve and show how supply curve looks like. मतलब उसको शो कर दो ग्राफ में बना के. फंक्शन गिवन है, derive the inverse supply curve, but from theory we know that in perfect competition marginal cost curve is supply curve. theory में मुझे मालूम है कि marginal cost curve supply curve होता है. तो from this cost I will simply calculate only what? Marginal cost, and simply write P equal to MC. So when you solve this question of 2019, total cost was given as y square plus 1. Remember, this is a combination of total variable cost and total fixed cost. If you need to elaborate, just remember this. From there you can calculate the marginal cost. Marginal cost will become 2y, and simply write supply curve is marginal cost curve. Supply curve is marginal cost curve. So price equal to marginal cost. So P equal to 2y. P equal to 2y, and what supply curve looks like, mark here P, mark here y. Y is output. Can you plot this relation P equal to 2y? If y is 1, then P will be, if it is 2, then it will be 4. If it is 3, it will be 6. So actually the line will be a straight line. Marginal cost is 2y, it will be a straight line. But you have written one more thing in the supply curve. Which part of MC is supply curve? Above the ABC. So show that above ABC. Is it above ABC? So naturally you have to draw ABC also. So how much is ABC in this function? Average variable cost will be total variable cost upon quantity. Variable cost is y square. So y square upon y is y. That means if y is 1, variable cost is 1. If y is 2, variable cost is 2. So 1, 1, 2, 2, that means it will be below it. 45 degree angle पे draw कर लेंगे. But now what we find that entire marginal cost curve is the supply curve, because every part of MC is above the ABC. So this will be the supply curve. No part of MC in this question is below the ABC. Complete MC is above the ABC. So what you have to do in this question, just plot it, calculate it, and just write one short paragraph for reasoning. That will become the theoretical description of it. ठीक है, उससे complete कर लीजिए. Just write down that theory. One short paragraph. Supply curve explains. Supply curve explains relationship between. Supply curve explains relationship between price and quantity supplied. Supply curve explains relationship between price and quantity supplied. So for a competitive firm in short run, for a competitive firm in short run, for a competitive firm in short run, supply curve is its marginal cost curve. Supply curve is its marginal cost curve. But it is not the entire marginal cost curve. It is not the entire marginal cost curve. In fact, it is only that part of marginal cost curve. In fact, it is only that part of marginal cost curve. Only that part of marginal cost curve which lies above ABC. It is only that part of marginal cost curve which lies above ABC. Underline that line. Only that part of marginal cost curve which lies above average variable cost. This is because when marginal cost is less than ABC, when marginal cost is less than ABC, when marginal cost is less than average variable cost, then equating price with marginal cost, equating price with marginal cost implies that price will be less than ABC. Imply that price will be less than ABC. Imply that price will be less than ABC. देखो, अगर आपने मार्जिनल कॉस्ट की वैल्यू को लेस देन एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट कंसीडर किया हुआ है, जो भी रेंज है, we equate marginal cost with price. Why we equate marginal cost with price? Actually you are equating marginal cost with marginal revenue. but marginal revenue is price under perfect competition. So you write MC equal to P. But if P is equal to MC and MC is less than ABC, then naturally it implies that price will be less than what? Which means loss. So there will be no production. Let's complete that. It means there will be operating loss. It means there will be operating loss. And firm will not produce any output. Firm will not produce any output. There will be operating loss and firm will not produce any output. As a result, quantity supplied will be zero. Quantity supplied will be zero. Therefore, only that part of MC, which is above ABC, therefore only that part of marginal cost which is above ABC is supply curve. Therefore only that part of marginal cost which is above ABC is supply curve of competitive firm. A supply curve of competitive firm. Clear? So we have just introduced the content for market structure in this first class. We are basically doing the first part, which is perfect competition, or relevant form we can say only short one question. We have discussed that why marginal cost curve is supply curve of firm. Next we will be doing supply curve for the industry. So not much content in the perfect competition, much content is basically in the oligopoly. So we will start first with the supply curve of the market in long run. What you have done is short run. We will be doing it for the long run, and that is another question from perfect competition. ठीक है, तो ये content ऐसे form में if you start reading from the source study material, it is the first chapter, which is chapter number 5, perfect competition in the course analysis. ठीक है, if you refer the study material, it will be the first, although the content there I am incorporating everything here. So if you are just following the class notes, it will be enough. Just maintain a separate spiral for your daily answer writing practice. I have shown 2 questions in this class. So it is not that कि हमने class में कर लिया तो separately नहीं करना है. I have shown 2 questions. Write both questions in a separate spiral. Every day if you keep on writing 2 or 3 questions, first thing is that you will be able to learn what you are writing here. And second, it will be basically a practice of past year question also. So I have shown you 2 questions, maintain a separate spiral and write it there. Clear? So we will continue with perfect competition tomorrow same time.